You are about to see mutilated corpses, burning tank carcasses, and all out mayhem, brought to you by Frontline Fatalities.
Sup, COH fans, and welcome to episode 80 of Frontline Fatalities, brought to you by the Frontline Network, presented by me, FatalSaint, and my good friend Tommy. What's up, Tommy?
What's up, FatalSaint? We are here again with the Steam version of Company of Heroes 1, and it's going to be good old-fashioned VCO once again. It's going to be the US versus the Wehrmacht, and what better map for a good bit of reminiscing about COH as we prepare to move on to Company of Heroes 2. It is the one and only Longra.
Good old Longra, where, well, I don't know, it's pretty much anybody's game, but I guess this slightly favors Wehrmacht. But we'll see what happens in this game, in this matchup, which is between Spanky playing as the Wehrmacht, and who do we have on the US side?
On the US side, we have Arashenstein, and they're going to be playing from tournament positions.
Good old tournament positions. You ready to go, Tommy?
I'm ready.
At the 5-second mark, unpause in 3, 2, 1, unpause. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So nothing special in the beginning. 2 Pyro start for Spanky building his Wehrmacht quarters with his starting pioneers. How about the Arashenstein going for good old 2 engineers, or?
It is indeed good old 2 engineers with the barracks being placed right at the end. This is one thing actually on Longra that's subject to different opinions, different people. Personally, when I am playing as the US from the north, because of the prevalence of base pinning on this map and the ease with which a Wehrmacht player can advance so quickly and start shooting actually into your base, I prefer to put the barracks just a little bit behind the hedge over there, just to the left, because that means actually that the barracks can't be directly fired upon, because what can happen is you can get an MG placed just outside your base, and if it shoots at the barracks, then units behind it, even as far back as your own HQ, can actually get suppressed, and it's a horrible, horrible position to be in.
Does that have something to do, just like, you know, strafe actually getting more powerful due to buildings? It's the same thing with the MG suppression. Does buildings affect it? I wonder.
I don't know, honestly. It's one of those things that's like, in the complex engine of COH, I have no idea how it really calculates it. All I know is that if you have an MG shooting at something at its maximum range, at the furthest point of its range, units even further back than that can and will often get suppressed, and you see that most commonly when there's a base pin, and particularly you see it on this map.
Yeah, we do have a Volk MG start for Spanky, so no Volk opening for him. So it's a little bit of a slight variation of normal builds, I guess. We also have some wire coming down from his starting Pios, which is sending over to the left-hand side. He hasn't actually been capping that much. He capped the munitions and the fuel outside of his base. He's going for the fuel outside the second munitions point just north of his base. But apart from that, he basically sent his starting Pios now over here to the left-hand side to start wiring off the field.
I'm slightly concerned by the lack of map that Spanky's actually taken for us to be coming up to sort of 2.5 minutes into the game, and he's really only capped his +5 fuel and a single +10 munitions. What's he been doing this whole time? Has he just been laying wire?
No, I guess there was some wire attempt at a building that the rifles just nicked from Arashenstein, and there was the wire on the far left-hand side, and the bolts are actually now placing wire as well, cutting off basically the 2 entrances between the fences there to that fuel on the left-hand side corner of Longra. So it's interesting play from Spanky. We do have a Volk squad coming up as his 3rd unit now, so it's Volk MG Volk, and I see that Arashenstein has opted to go for, was it a rifle jeep?
He did indeed go rifle jeep, yeah, with a second rifle as a follow-up after that. So it's fairly normal US play. Jeeps relatively common on this map, just because it's so open, and you do have that quite handy road going right down the middle. So it is possible for a damaged engine jeep to sort of get out of dodge if he catches a nasty end of the Panzerfaust. But it's a weird opening for Wehrmacht, honestly. It doesn't seem like Spanky really knows whether he wants to go right or left here. And generally speaking, most conventional Wehrmacht wisdom suggests that you should pick a side and then stick with that side, at least for the first opening minutes.
Yeah, and generally, I guess most Wehrmacht player tends to go to the right-hand side. There's a little bit more playing room, and that very, very strong building as well. We've seen players like Fireball and DVM, for example, always going for that strong building with an MG because it locks down so much of the map on that right-hand side, and you just can't go past that MG because it sees everything, and it basically suppresses you as soon as you try to go for a long flank on the right-hand side, or if you're going down the center of the map, it also picks on you. So it's a very, very tough, sturdy building as well to get destroyed by any form of heavier fire like AT guns. It just takes forever to destroy those stone buildings.
I'm just having a little look around. Would I be right in saying that Spanky has only gotten 3 tier 1 units?
Yeah, Volk MG Volk and built a bunker which actually took a little bit of flak, and he's not putting it up and deciding to go for a medic bunker very, very close to his own base. So I guess he might be opting to go try and force these rifles out of the building, then cap that 60 munitions, and then keep the fuel on the left-hand side, and maybe expand on the left-hand side after that, or maybe then go over to the right-hand side. I'm not exactly sure what Spanky's game plan is. It seems like his game plan is completely out of the window.
It's strange. Maybe he's planning to do a bit of Volk spam, supported with a single MG and then the early med bunker, but I don't know. I can't say it's a recommended strategy to go for such an early bunker. Of course, here we have the medics. Yeah, I mean, we have the medics going out here. This is a crucial point now because if those, they could quickly just start churning out Grens if they don't get focus fired by Arashenstein.
I think Arashenstein, yeah, he's trying to focus fire him with the rifle squad outside of the building. Kills one of the medics. The second one is still alive, however, carrying a corpse over to the medic bunker. Here comes the flank with the Flamer Engineer and the Jeep, combined with another rifleman squad from Arashenstein, now moving in onto Spanky's territory. And there's basically a complete rout of Wehrmacht forces. Where is that MG? Where did he put it? In the building on that far left-hand side on the bottom of the map. He actually suppresses one of the rifle squad that goes out of that building for Arashenstein. But, now he's getting flanked from all directions.
Yeah, this could rapidly go sideways for Spanky here. The one thing going in his favor is that Arashenstein has chosen to ignore the second medic, who's still out there running back and forth, grabbing corpses, and actually Arashenstein's forces seem to be moving away. And if he can pick up another body, no, he can't.
The body actually despawned for the medic to pick up, but he did get 2 casualties, so he's only 2 away to get his first Grenadier squad. And if he gets that Grenadier squad fairly rapidly, that's going to be pretty powerful, when you actually take into the equation that there's no bars or anything for the rifles. So the Grenadiers, even without vet, it's going to be good, strong mainline infantry for Spanky.
Yeah, I saw the beginning of the first tech choice from Arashenstein. I saw the beginnings of grenade tech, but I don't know if he actually chose to finish it. I don't believe he did, and it's now at the point he is now choosing to get bars. Fairly late time to get bars, coming into well into the 6th minute. So I don't know. It seems like an odd choice getting bars this late when Spanky is basically camping about 30 yards outside of his own base sector.
He's basically just sitting on his base sector. That's basically it. He hasn't actually moved that far away. A Faust goes off on a Jeep, takes that out on the left-hand side. The poor driver and gunner flying through the air, doing a bit of somersault action.
Quite a spectacular somersault there, yeah.
But he did actually deny that fuel on the left-hand side and capped it for himself, so now Spanky doesn't actually have much in the ways of a fuel income, only a +10, the +5 outside of his base, and the initial +5 you get. We did have the bar tech for Arashenstein just hit, and the first tier 2 unit is out for Spanky, so he basically went Volk MG Volk into Krieg's barracks with a half-track first.
It's a very, very strange build from Spanky. Whoa, does lose the MG. That's a big loss, actually. Somewhat mitigated by the fact that he went for a hard track first, but even so, the loss of an MG42 is not good at all. Having the hard track out there, though, it should hopefully keep these Volks in the field, but I mean, they're no match for BARs here. I mean, I wouldn't have thought that BARs would have been a great choice just because of his proximity to his base, but I suppose with the loss of that MG, it's probably worked out for him.
And the bars are gonna get even more powerful now that there's no suppression means from Spanky on the field anymore with that MG completely annihilated. But here is the first Grenadier squad from that medic bunker. So Spanky is getting at least some new forces that he's not building, and he's got a second Grenadier squad.
That was a nice grenade. You could see that was going to be a tasty one there with all that low health infantry.
4 casualties on that grenade.
There's actually a forward HQ there. US forward HQ in this strong building.
Oh, wow. What is going on in this game? Some strange things are happening on long red, but Spanky is not looking good right now. We do have defensive shows, and the Fortified has been unlocked, and he does not have enough munitions to use it right now. He just needs to wait approximately another minute to get the first use out of Fortified if he needs it. Here we do have infantry docking shows
on the medic bunker there.
But it is...
Whoa!
Wow, that was a massive spread. Wow!
Jesus, 2 more Grens go down with a second shell.
I think he annihilated that Gren squad. I think that was the Gren squad from the medic bunker, so basically that's dead. So he's gonna get another one due to a medic picking up a 4th casualty. The on-map, or the off-map, actually finally finishes. But that's some very early Vet 2 rifle veterancy from Arashenstein. He's getting really strong really quickly. The bars are working out for him.
Yeah, the bars are working out for him. I think he's in such a dominant position that the fact that Spanky is playing out of his base doesn't really matter all that much. But now that he's seeing for the Fatherland on top of that, as well as all this infantry, he is going to need to diversify sooner rather than later, really. Doesn't really matter what he goes for. He knows that Spanky's going to have no chance of getting vehicle tech, so really anything that can amplify his anti-infantry force would be much appreciated right now.
Well, Tier 2 is obviously up. I think that Arashenstein has noticed that one of those Gren squads did not come from the medic bunker. It was one that he actually built, and obviously with the half-track on the field, he knows that there is Tier 2 up in Spanky's base, so
whoa,
I'm not exactly sure what he could do. Oh, yeah.
Immobilized the half-track there. But this Fort HQ, if you check out the Fort HQ, Arashenstein needs to garrison it. He does garrison it, but only with a very low health rifle there. And actually, Arashenstein, he's lost a lot of his army. He's down to just a single engineer and 2 rifles now, and both those rifles are inside the building.
Oh, he might be losing this Vet 2 rifle squad. It's extremely low health. He's trying to focus firing down. He's getting back into the house, but he's not actually reinforcing him. But he does force off. The Grenadier squad gets killed on retreat, and the Vol squad flees for their lives.
He loses the Vet 2. The Vet 2 went down inside the building.
To the half-track, or what happened?
To the half-track.
To the half-track. We do have the fuel point being seized, captured again by some pioneers from Spanky. He needs that fuel, and he's gonna be able to cap that without any problems, I think. But that half-track is basically a sitting duck right now. It's immobilized due to that sticky, and we do have a Grenadier squad out from Spanky as well. But both players losing a lot of forces in this battle just outside of Spanky's base. And we do have a pack actually queued up now in the Creeks barracks for Spanky.
Well, I do hasten to add, Arashenstein is down to a single rifle.
Is that
as his fighting units. He's down to 1 rifle and 1 engineer, which is in his base.
Did he go 3 tier 1? Did he only go 2 rifles Jeep, or did he go 3 rifles Jeep? Because
I think he went for 3 rifles Jeep, and he just
what happened to the 3rd rifle?
Well, I think he lost all of them. They just went down to focus fire.
The Vet 2 squad got killed, and we do have a newly built rifle squad from that forward HQ, actually. Why build it in your base when you can build it right outside of your enemy's base, I guess?
I guess so. I mean, it's kind of working out for him, although he did lose probably a little too much trying to save it. And now Spanky's fighting from a good range here. At the range where he was firing at just now, the medics would have been able to pick up in almost total safety.
Yeah, we did have Fortified pot, but it's not usable in enemy territory, so he's not getting the benefit from it now. And he really wants that forward HQ from Arashenstein away from the front lines. Nice grenade, but it's easily dodged from Spanky. I'm not exactly sure which squad he was aiming for there, Arashenstein. And he's most likely going to be he's a little bit of running around the building
around the houses. Oh, the pack was out to kill the building. Not to kill a vehicle, but to kill the building.
Not a bad idea, I guess.
That's a good way to get rid of it, actually, because otherwise it's pretty tough, especially if there's a Vet 2 rifle. Because look at those Grenadiers and those Volks as they go down. Tell that focus fire from inside the building. Arashenstein's got to be careful, though. 1 stray hit in the right place.
Oh, grenade into the building. Whoa. Kills 3 rifles. He's down to 2 men, and the medics are back picking up corpses for Spanky. But he does forces off the Grenadier, and I think he actually killed one of the Vol squads as well. Only with 2 windows on that side, but those windows were manned by 2 barred rifles with the bars and they do a lot of damage at Vet 2 against just Vet 1 Volks and Grens. Pack is back in business and takes out the forward HQ.
Whoa.
One nice critical hit on the left-hand side of the house, as the right-hand side of the house was basically already destroyed. And we do have what I think is the fastest Vet 3 rifle I've ever seen. 13-minute Vet 3 barred rifle. Insane. Does he have demos or something? What are these engineers doing? I'm not exactly sure. Did he take demos?
He may have done. I didn't notice. All I know is that he sunk a lot of fuel into getting a tank depot which is now producing none other than a croc.
The bad thing now is against one pack, no problem. A croc is easily gonna circumstrafe one pack and just torch the crew. But there's actually 2 packs from Spanky out already. I'm not exactly sure if he was basically just saying that, you know what, Arashenstein basically has all the fuel the entire match. He's gonna go for TD. It's just inevitable. It's gonna happen. So I'll get a secondary pack, even though he probably needs some more infantry to cap with, as he's lost basically everything. He's lost a Volt Squad, a Pio, a Gren or 2. You know, he's basically down to a Gren, a Volk, and 1 Pio now for capping. And he needs to cap a lot of the map to actually secure some form of a victory here.
It's, well, I mean, the thing is, Arashenstein isn't in any better of a position. He's got 3 total units, of which one is an engineer and one is a vanilla rifle. So it's not a great position for either of them. Although I gotta say, the choice of the croc is a bit of a strange one, because he knows that there is a pack on field. He knows that there's tier 2, and he knows that there's a medic bunker camping hardcore from the Wehrmacht player. So I don't really understand the choice there. He could easily just really put the boot in here, knowing that there's no threat of vehicles from Spanky at all, and just lay in with the snipers and the howitzers and indirect fire, and just, you know, up the wazoo, take out the bunker, and then that should be game. Obviously, with the loss of all those rifles, though, it does change the dynamics a little bit.
Well, basically, both players are down to very low numbers in their army, and, you know, none of them actually have any superiority right now. This croc, however, has a lot of work to do, because he's first off, he's got to avoid 2 packs, not just the 1. He's got to avoid 2 packs. When Arashenstein actually notices there are 2 packs, not just 1, I think that's going to be devastating.
He's got to be careful not to just go rushing in here. I feel like he might try and go for a quick KO, which would be potentially very, very dangerous. He would be in real danger of losing his croc, and he'd have to let those Vet 3 rifles do their stuff.
Is that the entirety of his fuel, that croc and the TD building, or does he have more?
He has 65 fuel in the bank.
Okay, so no, it's not going to be possible to build a Sherman, for example, right now if he needed it. If he loses this croc.
No, it'll be another minute or so before he can even start building something like that. Going for the base rush, interesting choice. Nothing really for him to kill here. The Volks should be able to get out of there no problem. And now the packs have turned. Arashenstein should have heard that.
Oh, yeah, he misfires. Both of them misfires, but they're still cloaked.
If he was paying attention there, he should have a good idea that there's 2 packs out there, and he should know that he needs to get the fuck out of that base. Otherwise, he's going to be in a really bad position. Here come the first vanilla rifles, though, into, for the fatherland, Vet 1 Grens, which is never set out to really end very well for the US player.
Vet 2 as well. Here we go.
Yep, there's the
Vet 2 pops for the infantry.
Very, very strong indeed. And it's off-map artillery, this time in a bit of a weird location. He's putting it down around the tier 1 building. A big scatter shot, though, lands pretty close to the pack, but he's now moving out of danger. This vanilla rifle still getting chewed up by those for the fatherland Grens. Don't really understand what Arashenstein's doing here with this croc. He's just sort of flaming out an MG bunker, which isn't really going to help him, because as soon as it goes down, it's going to expose him to the wrath of these packs here.
He's going to go for the charge on the 1 pack, but
tier 1 building is safe-destructed. Self-destructed even.
Oh, to deny the XP for your opponent, not a bad idea.
No, he did it. No, he did it so that he could see the croc with the 2nd pack.
Ah, okay. So he couldn't hide behind the building. Ah, yeah, I guess so. He was almost dead from the on-map anyway, or off-map, I guess.
Well, that trick doesn't actually work. It's a bit of an urban myth that you can deny veterancy by self-destructing buildings. If a unit has even taken 1 hit point off of a building, then it still counts as that unit's kill if the building then goes down due to self-destruction.
I see. We do have the croc actually surviving, but it is very low health, and a pack is in hot pursuit. Is actually gonna be chasing that croc. Is not setting up fast enough. Croc might be out of range, I'm not sure.
Oh,
no, it's not! Oh,
one nice
shot.
hit there. Those Grenadiers, they're going to be wishing they had some Volk Panzerfausts.
Yeah, Panzerfaust would have been able to polish that off easily. But Spanky has actually reclaimed a lot of the map, the whole left-hand side basically.
About half the map now, yeah.
Yeah, 50-50, and he's actually got the VPs in his own possession now. So he stopped the drain at 321 VPs compared to Arashenstein's 476 now. But he did lose basically his entire base. He did lose the campcraft center. He did lose his tier 1 building, and the tier 2 Krieg barracks is basically dead. It's got, 1 health left.
That yeah, that's not good. I mean,
it's on fire.
There's now a second Sherman as well in the field. This is a regular Sherman though, not a Croc, which he could go in and try and polish off that tier 2 building. But of course, he does now know that there are 2 packs out there. And honestly, I don't really understand Arashenstein's tech choices this game. Oh, there's a nice mine. Arashenstein laid that a long time ago.
Pack actually clears it by reversing into the mine, and none of the guys actually died. That was small arms fire that decrewed that pack and killed the 3rd guy as well. And these Vet 2 Grenadiers, they are fairly durable, but that is a Vet 3 rifleman squad with bars, which is nothing to laugh at.
No, not even a Vet 2 Gren is going to stand up to that, really. I mean, even a Vet 3 rifle will pretty much demolish a Vet 3 Gren, let alone Vet 2. So here we go. For the Fatherland, though, could easily tip the tide. For the Fatherland is a very powerful tool when you throw in a bit of focus fire and a very nice grenade. They're very nice grenade on the Vet 3 rifles. Forces a retreat, and they could even be in danger of losing him here.
Negative cover down to 1 man, I think, but he's got plenty of health, and Vet 3 is going to be able to survive. The Sherman now in Spanky's base trying to kill the tier 2 building, but it has been repaired by some pioneers from Spanky up to approximately 50% health, and I wonder who wins. The Sherman trying to kill it while Pio's repairing it, or...
Pios should be able to repair
Who repairs faster?
I think
so.
Well, I think the Sherman will overall do more damage than the Pioneers can repair, but it will slow it down enough.
Yeah, and there's... I think there's
I don't
3
see
packs
this
now.
ending too well here. There's now 3 packs. I mean, oh god, those point-blank range shots do a heck of a lot of damage.
Oh, wow.
This is going to be the end of it now. Destroyed engine, there we go. If he's lucky, he might be able to finish off a unit, but he doesn't. He does go down. That's a loss of another Sherman there, and Arashenstein is back down to just a handful of units. He's finally almost got the Croc repaired, but that sort of begs the question, why didn't he wait for at least to have both tanks go in at the same time? Instead, he's feeding himself 1 unit at a time, and that's never destined to end well.
Yeah, and he actually gave away quite a bit of salvage as well, munitions to for Spanky to use for the Fatherland.
For the Fatherland out the wazoo.
Yeah, and during all of these engagements now lately, basically the medic bunker has remained undestroyed, so he's been shooting out Vet 2 Grens for free. He's got 5 Grens now, 5 Grens.
That's a pretty frightening prospect for any US player to see, especially
with that salvage, you can get Shreks as well.
Yeah, I'm not seeing this going too well, honestly. Despite a very dominant early game, Arashenstein has sort of dropped the ball on this one here with his... well, firstly, with the loss of all those rifles, that probably would have kept him in it and won the game just on its own. But also some very strange take choices. It's sort of the classic US trap, really, that you see a lot of US players do, even up to tournament-level play, which is when you see them go for a very strong early game, so the Wehrmacht player is forced into very heavy tier 2, and then for some bizarre reason, loads of US players then decide to go for tanks. Which,
yeah, TD.
Yeah, for TD when you're facing a very heavy tier 2 player, which is just about the strongest tier for anti-tank, barring the Panther or Super Tanks. So it's a very strange choice, but it's a choice that a lot of US players make.
Look at the Croc is sitting right in front.
Did you see that? Did you see that? Shrek snipe.
Oh, Vet 3.
Long range on the Vet 3 rifle from where they were, all that way.
You gotta hate that. We do have an odd map from Arashenstein actually firing away at something at
takes
those
out 2
infantry squads. And there's a Gren running into the danger zone as well. He's trying to redirect them away from the artillery strikes. But that Croc has been parked in front of that mine on the left-hand side for so long, and there's a pack waiting for him. He's gonna roll 1 inch forward, hit the mine, and basically be done for.
Oh,
He's got
no,
a second
he needs to
pack
back
now.
up. He needs to back away, but as soon as he backs away, oh no, he hits the mine with the rifle.
The rifle actually took the brunt of the force from that mine. I was lucky, no damage ending, but the pack misfires at the last shot. He's very, very low health on that Croc again, but look at the stats on the Croc. He's basically done some building damage and gotten 1 infantry kill. That's it. We do have Regular artillery on the left-hand side. Fuel takes out the entire rifle squad, maybe? He's gonna get away. The last guy's gonna get away.
He is going to get away, but we did see a Flamer engineer went down to focus fire from Vet2 Grens here on the right-hand side, bringing Arashenstein down to precisely 0 engineers.
Oh, so he can't even repair his croc now.
Can't even repair his croc until he's rebuilt an engineer. He is currently in the rebuilding one, but it's going to take another few seconds to get here. So here we go, Vet2 Grens versus Vet3 Rifles at point-blank range. I think that was a sensible retreat there for the Grenadiers, although a slightly bizarre retreat for Arashenstein.
Maybe he just wants to top them off. He did lose 2 guys, actually.
Yeah, possibly.
We do have new engineers constructed for Arashenstein, so he's going to be able to at least repair his TD units, or his TD unit. He's only got the croc. The Sherman died in Spanky's base before, and I guess he can't really afford manpower-wise to churn out more TD units, or he's actually just deciding to do something else.
Yeah,
I see that the Rax is doing something.
He's at 82 fuel now, and yeah, he's building another rifle, which is just a bad choice, really. I can see no way...
Vet3, sorry. Vet3 just hits.
Yeah, Vet3 Grens. I see no reason for more rifles to be useful right now. They were useful, 20 minutes ago, but not now. Not now when he's going up against For the Fatherland, Medbunker, and Vet3 Grens. He needs to go for snipers right now. That's
what do you reckon,
the only
WC?
way that he's going to that he would have any chance of getting back into this is with snipers. He's blocked out of tanks. He's blocked out of just spamming more infantry. He needs those support weapons.
You can hear the on-map actually firing in Spanky's base. Maybe he was expecting Spanky to retreat some units and then try to actually polish them off in the base with the on-map how he's shooting in there. But all he's doing is actually putting a bit of a few holes into the base buildings from Spanky, but it's not actually destroying anything.
Yeah, if he was hoping for a retreat there, he was sadly disappointed. I mean, Spanky, if he wanted to now, he could be really cruel and erect a new bunker here in the center, just in front of the right-hand side strategic point. That would really cement his hold on this right-hand side and would really lock down Arashenstein, especially as he continues to build more rifles. He's now up to a total of 4, which is obviously a nice number to have, but not a very nice number when most of them are literally just going to be there to actually take damage. They're not going to do almost
just cost a lot of manpower to reinforce.
Yeah, they're gonna take a lot of reinforcement, and they're gonna just gonna get really beaten up. Yeah,
they're just gonna get very little work done actually, because he is fighting 5 Vet3 Grenadiers right now, and he does have that Vet3 rifle himself. But they're sorely outgunned.
Look at those rifles. They get focus fired down by Vet3 Grens here. We have another rifle coming in, but again, just taking such a huge amount of damage. 1 grenade, very nice. Not dodged. Takes a lot of health off, but only gets a single kill. That was really unfortunate, and that is the power of Vet3, of course. Vet3 meaning 1.2 times maximum health, so that's 20% extra health. And Grenadiers already have a lot of health. When you stack on bonus health plus elite armor, they are really something to be feared. Not perhaps quite as scary as Vet3 rifles, but
Vet3 rifles
scary nonetheless.
Yeah, Vet3 rifles almost killed a Volt squad on retreat actually. Did a load of damage because Spanky did a fairly early retreat at 3 men, but he almost lost the Volt squad anyways. And we do have the off-map actually used all around the packs outside of this medic bunker right now. But this Vet3 rifle is basically fighting everything alone, and he is fighting against For the Fatherland as well.
And he's not even shooting those medics there. I can see another medic just strolling back to the medic bunker.
Yeah,
2 medics, in fact, strolling back to the medic bunker. Gonna be getting back there. I think a good lesson to take on board for all our viewers is that when you are in a situation where you're fighting a medic bunker, you should always target the medics first. Even if there's a really juicy infantry target and you think, oh, I could really get some nice kills in here, always target the medics first, and there's a very good reason for that. It's just the safer option. Because if you win the engagement, then well, you'll have killed the medics and you'll have killed the infantry. And if you lose the engagement, then you're just going to give your opponent free infantry, because you're going to leave those medics out to be free to pick up all your killed enemy units while you're forced to retreat.
That was a very, very nice on-map Howie. We did actually have a Vet3 Grenadier squad retreat back to Spanky's base, and 3 guys getting killed by the last shot from the on-map howitzer. And he almost destroyed the Creek barracks, but at the same time, I'm not exactly sure why he is so consistently shooting into Spanky's base. Is he really trying to polish off units when they're retreating, or what is his actual purpose with always shooting his barrages into the base. He could have targeted the medic bunker, for example. There was a load of infantry stacked around the medic bunker at that time, after the Vet 3 squad actually retreated away from it. So I'm not exactly sure why he decided to shoot at the base again. Because it's not like he's going to win by annihilation. There's two base building, the two base bunkers, the HQ itself. You know, a new campcraft center has been set up, and Spanky now actually building his tier 4 unit, tier 4 building as well.
This feels like the sort of the close-mindedness you get when you get into a sort of a frustrating game. But yeah, and he's built himself more tanks now, but again, he's just sort of running into the meat grinder here. There are still 2 packs on the field, although they are split up, so there's a potential for some nice kills here. He could potentially decrew or destroy one of them.
Yeah, the third pack did get permanently destroyed by the off-map howitzer shoot from Arashenstein, so that was at least that was good. So there's only 2 packs to fight, and hopefully this Croc and Sherman can actually combat them as they were split up. But the second pack is now moving over to the left-hand side to try and reinforce the other one, but he might lose the Gren at Vet 3, very low health, but with a Shrek on one of those Vet 3 Grens, that might be enough. Defensive Regged RD goes down on the right-hand side munitions point, and it actually kills a load of infantry.
Killed a load of infantry, yeah. It didn't finish off any units, but does force the Vet 3s to retreat, which means that what's left is just vanilla rifles here, and they are not going to do very much. The Croc... No, in fact, that's the regular Sherman goes down.
Regular Sherman.
Goes out of control. More off-map here. Off-map just in front of where that pack was just moving to. I hope he moves it back here. He could be too late, and he is a little bit too late. Takes a blow right on the chin, but it's all too little too late. He's decrewed both packs, sent everything back home, but there's not a single tank to take advantage of it. The Sherman Croc is back in Arashenstein's base and is looking very, very poorly indeed.
It's been on the field for a good 15 minutes now, I think. We're rolling into the 30-minute mark of the game, and you know, it only has 7 kills, and some of those kills were pack crews, which is basically his target, I think, to decrew the packs and then roll in with, you know, with other Shermans. But they just keep dying. So, you know, the Croc goes in, takes a load of damage, takes, you know, the brunt of the force, decrews the pack, and then has to run away. And he basically doesn't really get that much work done. He's just, I don't know, just stalling and stalling.
He's a distraction.
Yeah, he's just annoying right now. And we actually have the first tier 4 unit out from Spanky. A P4, the choice for him, which is not a bad idea considering there's loads of unvetted rifles to shoot at. And, you know, cause a lot of manpower damage. And at the same time, you can easily fight the Croc because the Croc can't fight back.
Here comes the Rifleman wave. There may even be enough here to force off maybe 1, maybe 2 Grenadiers. I don't know. He's focus firing a single Grenadier, but only doing 2 kills for all of that. And taking big grenades to the face. This is not looking good right now, and the P4 is just here to put the boot in, really. We have OMCG has actually been unlocked, so he can start pumping out the bit of spam here, but I don't believe this is something he's going to be able to come back from.
He's got, it kind of looks like what Spanky had in the beginning of the match. Basically no map whatsoever. He had a few sectors outside of his base, which he's now losing as well. And he's going to lose the VP on the right-hand side as soon as Spanky actually sends his Vet 3 Gren squad just to go cap it. But you know, he's basically dead right now. He's pinned in his base, even though there's not a single MG on the base on the map. He's still pinned in his base because there's P4s, Vet 3 Grens, and Shreks and packs, and you know, everything is basically just pointing at his base right now.
Yeah, I think he's waiting for an OMCG, but he doesn't even have the pop cap for it right now. He's chose to reinforce all his rifles instead of waiting. Well, he could have not reinforced his rifles and then brought in an OMCG, maybe then reinforced the Vet 3 rifles on top of that only, left everything else vanilla.
But as Arashenstein said in chat, you know, with For the Fatherland, he can't really exit his base now because everything on the map is now For the Fatherland territory because it's all in Spanky's possession. So wherever he chooses to fight, For the Fatherland is going to be used anyway.
Well, here comes the
there it is,
the last
For
of
the
the
Fatherland
Mohicans or something. It's charging right in. The Vet 3s are getting focus fired as they move in, and we actually have the drop decks. I think he knew upon seeing that P4 it just wasn't going to go his way.
It wouldn't work, and as you said, I guess he was pop capped, so he couldn't actually build anything from that WSC building that was going up in his base anyway. And even if he did, he was triple capped. at the VPs down to 152 VPs, and it goes so quickly. 3 VPs every tick when you're triple capped. So those 150 VPs remaining would have actually drained quite rapidly. So he would have lost the game anyways if he tried to stall or just wait in his base. He would have died anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It
Impossible scenario.
Wouldn't have ended very well for him, but it was an interesting game. It was an unorthodox game, certainly. Not something
strange
that we've seen here on TFM before.
No, very strange early game from both players. I gotta recheck the replay and see if he went for 3 rifles and what actually happened to that 3rd rifle, where he passed on to the afterlife. Because I'm not exactly sure.
Heaven.
Yeah, Rifleman Heaven. There's got to be a ton of Riflemen in there after COH has played over 1 million games or whatever it is. There's some insane amount.
Oh, it's a crazy number.
Yeah, some crazy number. But, at the same time, Spank is beginning a 3 tier 1 unit opening. What do you think about that? That's, to me, it just feels like, no, you're going to be a sitting duck, because we saw how much of the map and how much dominance Arashenstein had at the beginning of the game due to that 3 tier 1 opening.
Longer is just a map that cries out for having 2 MGs, and although you can certainly get by with only having 1, and Aimstrong quite successfully has won tournaments going just single MG here, by and large you sacrifice almost nothing getting a second MG here. Even if you're only planning to do Volk MG and go for a small tier 1 like that, having 2 MGs, you can easily go heavy on the camp on the left hand side, or you can even go for a base pin on the right, as long as you tech up quick enough. There really are all options open for you as Ver, and as we saw here, even the weird and wacky options can work.
Yeah, but it also basically came down to Arashenstein losing those rifles. If he would have kept the Vet 2 rifle that died, that would have gotten Vet 3 as well very rapidly, and then he would have had 2 Vet 3 rifles. That's a little bit too, but you can focus fire down 1 Vet 2 rifle. But, if he would have had 2 Vet 3 rifles and, done continuous pushing and killing lots of Grens before they actually ended up at Vet 3 or Vet 2 even before that happened. Because I think Spanky was only at Vet 1 when the first Vet 3 rifle emerged, and he had a Vet 2 rifle way before that. So, then it could have cost Spanky so much manpower damage that he probably wouldn't have been able to afford the veterancy on his infantry and lost that way anyways. So Arashenstein kind of opened the door for Spanky to winning this game, I think.
Yeah, I do think so. Well, thanks guys for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And we will see you next time.
See you guys.